Awesome. So I literally just woke up to Mr. Zen Zetsubo over here sending me a link, as well as one of my other friends sending me a link to this with no context at all. I started watching the video for like 30 seconds or something like that. No, more like 15 seconds. And they started mentioning the sequel to the Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, okay, should I messaged him like, okay, should I record myself reacting to this, or should I just watch this in my free time? And he said, he said I should record myself. So here I am, streaming it. I have no clue what it's another Hyrule Warriors game, and I'm okay. We'll see. Well, at least the dislikes aren't big, so it can't be terrible. So let's see. Nintendo Presents. Interesting.
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. We mentioned in the June 2019 Nintendo Direct presentation that we had started development on the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Indeed.
Many people around the world are still playing Breath of the Wild, so I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Everyone, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a while. I'm sorry about
Regarding
that, but
the sequel, in order to make the vast world you enjoyed exploring in the original game even more impressive, the team is working hard on its development. So you'll have to wait a bit longer before we can provide more updates.
I'm not sure how I feel about what they just said there.
In the meantime, we've prepared a different way for you to experience the world of Hyrule, and we have a video to introduce it. Please take a look.
Okay.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of Calamity Ganon. A primal evil that has endured over the ages.
So are we looking at a prequel to Breath of the Wild based on the title?
You are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Thanks for using voice clips. So this is the toner of, oh my god, that, what was it? Render distance, you could see them pop up in the background. Yeah, is it a Hyrule Warriors prequel in the Breath of the Wild art style? Oh boy. Okay. I don't know how I feel about playing another Warriors game. But looks like we'll be able to play as all these champions. God, it's been a while since I played Breath of the Wild. I hope it's not a game with like 400 hours of content like Hyrule Warriors, I suppose, but I think that's hoping for too much, because I don't really want to replay Hyrule Warriors ever in my life.
What you just saw is the game that Koei Tecmo Games is developing. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
This is another 3 minutes, okay.
This game takes place 100 years before the events of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
In that
okay.
game, the great calamity that occurred 100 years prior was mentioned, but the actual event itself wasn't shown in full. In this game, you'll be able to experience the events of the great calamity.
Okay, it kind of makes sense
So
that
now,
they
I would like to
did
invite
this
Koei
in
Tecmo
terms
Games
of a new
producer,
game instead of a
Kobayashi, to join me
sequel.
here.
I guess Hyrule Warriors format does make sense.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yosuke Hayashi from Koei Tecmo Games and the producer of this game.
Given
Hyrule
it's
Warriors:
not
Age of
gonna...
Calamity began when Mr. Aonuma
They want to
approached
tell the
saying,
story, and they
"I think
don't
it would
really
be
want to make
interesting
it like a
create Warriors
traditional
game
Zelda
telling
game,
the
I
story of
suppose.
the Great Calamity.
Because,
What do you think?
you know, like an
The
action
battles
game sort of
between the Kingdom
fits
Hyrule
a
and
bit better.
Calamity Ganon would complement warrior-style gameplay
God,
against
hold
the
on.
armies.
I need to rewind and see that render distance again, because that first scene where they showed all the
Previous Hyrule
enemies...
Warriors games were filled with Zelda conventions.
And the render
The
distance was
Legend of Zelda
not
Breath
very
of the
good.
Wild broke these conventions entirely, and perhaps it's the same for everyone here, but for someone like me, who's been playing Zelda games for a long time, this was an extraordinary experience. It's a new, special title for me. Unlike the previous Hyrule Warriors games, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was developed by working closely with the Zelda team in every step of the process.
Working closely with the Zelda team, that's
direction,
good.
Graphics, world, and all dialogue. And while we maintained the
It does look like they've
distinct
reused
gameplay style of the
assets,
Warriors
which is a
series,
good thing.
with exciting 1 versus 1,000 battles and a wide variety of playable
Just hold on,
characters.
that scene. Let me
And while we
go back.
maintained the distinct gameplay style of the Warriors
This
series,
looks fine.
with
Hold on,
exciting
where
1
is it?
versus
This particular scene looks a bit strange to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the shading, or the textures on the ground. Maybe it might be the textures on the ground. They don't quite look Breath of the Wild to me.
1,000 battles.
And Rivali looks a bit
a wide
like
variety of playable characters.
this
became the only game that will let you experience
I don't know. It
the
just looks
world
strange to me. That
100
one
years prior to
quick
the events
scene.
of The Legend of Zelda, Breath
They
of
showed
the
it
Wild
earlier as well.
firsthand.
Thank you, Mr. Hayashi.
Another minute.
During the development of the previous Hyrule Warriors games, I was impressed with how the Warriors development team, led by Mr. Hayashi, had a deep understanding of the Legend of Zelda series. This time around, they made it possible to create this new experience by combining the well-detailed world of Breath of the Wild with Warriors gameplay.
You know,
Therefore, believe
I
this
think
game
this is
will
probably
offer
the first time
experience
I've
of great
actually wished
Calamity
for a
battles
game
that
to
will
not have that
fully
much
challenge
content.
hope
Like,
both those who
I've
played the previous
first time I've
Hyrule
wished for a
Warriors
game to be
games
short.
and those who played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild can experience this game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity will launch on November 20th.
Okay, so they actually have something for this year then, November 20th.
Thank you for your continued support for The Legend of Zelda and this game.
That's it, yeah? Cool. Alright. Okay. I might be a bit unexcited given that, like, the title kind of tells me what it is. And, you know, all that. But I think this will be good. I was not expecting another game to have to keep on my watch list, because I think, look, there's Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Is it Memory of Melody? I don't even remember. Next month, alright. So I've already pre-ordered the Mario collection because, you know, Nintendo bootlicker and limited release, which is still irking to me, but next month is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and I don't even know if I'm going to get that on release, because, you know, we'll see. And after that, there's then this in November, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, but I kind of want to save up for some other stuff at the moment. But anyway, yeah, I don't really have that much to say about this one, because it's cool. I'm glad we're getting the prequel that this game needed, but while I loved Hyrule Warriors, I didn't love how much content there was. There's like way too much for me to actually feel comfortable with consuming. So if this game has a lot, like if it has a similar amount of content, I'm not doing it all, for one, and I will never replay the game. But if it's more standard sized game rather than filled with tons of missions, which I kind of doubt given it's a Warriors Musou game, but yeah, I might actually enjoy it more than Warriors. And that's the thing. It's not that I didn't enjoy Hyrule Warriors, I just felt very overwhelmed by the time I got out of it, so I didn't really leave the game with the highest impressions. But this game does look good. That's all I have to say.